Sir, I have a visual. Should I engage?
Affirmative. Engage the target.
Copy that. Firing. And it's a successful hit. Firing again. Another successful hit. Unfortunately, I've run out of ammunition. I'll have to go and take him out. Finish him off. That's right, creeper. Die! Hey guys, Rex here, and I hope you will excuse my terrible acting, but that is right guys. What I have for you today is the long-awaited video for the rocket launcher in vanilla Minecraft. Now, I made a video about a filter that I used to make this creation where I showcased the original version, and this is the updated and improved version that I'm actually going to release. So in the description there's going to be a link to the video about the filter, and I highly recommend you watch that because otherwise you might have no idea how this works. And there's going to be a link to world download in the description, and for the explanation of how this works, you're going to need to have a intermediate knowledge, at least, of command blocks, or you might not understand the whole thing. But first I'm just going to show you what it does. So we've got our rocket launcher, or sorry, what am I saying? We've got our rocket launcher, which is a horse armor named rocket launcher, and our rockets, which are just fireworks named rocket. Now if you're wondering what the other stuff I had in my inventory, I had binoculars. If you want to know how that works, please check out my scoped bows video. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And yeah, I just had a sword. But basically, the rocket launcher lets me shoot rockets when I press Q. And as you can see, it consumes a rocket every time I shoot one. And yeah, if I don't have any rockets, let's get rid of these. I can't shoot. So I do need rockets in my inventory, and then it will use them up every time I shoot. And it does minimal damage to the terrain, and it does damage to entities, as you saw with that creeper. What's funny is actually I recorded that the first time. I accidentally killed the creeper, so I had to give him regeneration the second time. But yeah, that is the rocket launcher invention. So before I get into the explanation, I want to say that please feel free to download this and use it in your world. I'm going to give a world download for this, and yeah, but feel free to use it in any maps or inventions as long as you give credit. But I'm going to point out that if you export this to a different world, you're going to need to change the coordinates in this command block right here that I'm looking at. These coordinates here have to be the coordinates of this redstone block. Alright, so you're going to need to change those if you want to put it in a different world. But now, let's get into the explanation for all you guys who love command blocks. So let's start off with the scoreboards. So let's list our objectives here. We have 5 objectives, and one called time. We're using that to control how long the wither skulls will last in the world. Has rocket ammo, we're using that to determine if a player has any rockets in their inventory. Shoot rocket is used to determine when the player shoots a rocket. Drop item is when they drop the horse armor. Sorry, is rocket launcher is also for dropping the horse armor. Yeah, sorry about that. And here we have a fill clock, and here is a bunch of command blocks that were generated by my filter, which is in the video in the link in the description. But first we have this fill clock, so let's go over that. We've got a fill clock, redstone block, stone, pretty simple stuff, and it's going to go this way. So first, the things we're going to want to do is we're going to want to set our has rocket ammo objectives. So as you can see, that's 1 for me right now. If I get rid of these rockets, it's going to be 0, and if I get rockets again, it's going to be 1. And how we do that is we simply set it to 0, using this one, score player set at a rocket ammo 0, and then we're going to set it to 1 if in their inventory they have an item that is fireworks with a name of rocket. It's pretty simple stuff. Alright, the next part of the fill clock controls the actual shooting, determining when to shoot a rocket. Detects when the player throws the item. So first we're going to use a scoreboard players, and we're going to set all items that are a rocket launcher item, as you can see here, and we're going to give them an is rocket launcher score of 1, right? And then that's what we're going to be using to execute for the rest of a lot of the other command blocks here. So this one, it executes from all entities that are the rocket launcher item. Scoreboard players, and it sets the nearest player with a drop item score of 1, and they have rocket ammo in their inventory. It sets their shoot rocket score to 1, and then that tells this system to make them shoot a rocket. Alright, where was I? Here. Next, we've got the same thing executing from the item to give the nearest player with the same, with a drop item, where am I? Drop item score of 1, a new horse armor, so that obviously they don't just throw it and it dies. And then we're going to kill the old one. So that's how that works. And then the next two command blocks, this one just resets everyone's drop item score. And this one will execute from all players with a shoot rocket score of minimum 1. It's going to use a set block command to set the block here, right here, to a redstone block with the destroy thing, so that it will delete the redstone block and put a new one. Alright, and then it's going to actually shoot the rocket, but I'm going to go over that later. That's it. And then these command blocks are just for other things. This one clears the wither effect from everybody. You can't actually use wither in the same map as this, the wither effect, because it clears it from people, because we are using wither skulls for the rocket. And this one will do the particle crit at all the wither skulls. And these two control how long it lasts. So this one will add 1 in the time score to all wither skulls every tick, and then when it gets to 100, it's going to kill it. Pretty simple stuff. So I'm just going to give a quick demo of that. If I shoot a rocket and then we go chasing after it, you will be able to see it briefly, and then it will disappear. And that's because it has slowed down, and then once it reaches 5 seconds, once it's been around for 5 seconds, it's going to be killed by that command block right there. So I think that pretty much covers the fill clock. Let's move on to what happens when our shoot rocket scar gets set to 1. So we obviously have that redstone block being set here, and it's going to activate these two command blocks, which is going to fill this area here with redstone blocks and then back to stone very, very quickly, which is going to activate all these command blocks here. And there's a couple special ones over there that aren't part of it. Or they are part of it, but they're not part of the huge grid. They just need to be activated at the same time. So basically, if you haven't seen my filter video, like I said, go watch that, or you're not going to know what this is. But this is the command I ran the filter on. Execute from all players with shoot rocket score of 1, with the rotation there, from an adjusted position, summon wither skull with a custom name of rocket, and with the appropriate direction. The custom name is not actually used for anything. I just put that in so if I want to make a modification in the future, then I can easily do that with the custom name. And now obviously these are all the ones with the different directions and stuff, and the different rotations, and that's how that works. But then after it executes all those, it's going to execute these two command blocks last. This one is going to clear a firework, one firework called rocket, from everyone with a shoot rocket score of 1, and that's how we get that ammo depletion. And this one is going to set everyone's shoot rocket score back to 0 after they have shot the rocket. So that just sort of resets the entire system. Now, of course, if this is not working for you, it's either not accurate enough for you or too laggy for you, you can use this command block here. You can run the filter on this command block, and you can change the accuracy parameter. So I have changed it, or I have set it to 5 for this, and it's making this many command blocks. If you make the accuracy bigger, you can actually make it have less command blocks. It will be less accurate, but it will also be less laggy. And you can also do the same. You can make it as small as 3 if you want it to be bigger, but you also want it to be more accurate and more laggy. Depends on how much your computer or your server can handle, but that's why I have this command block still here. So you just run the filter on the command block with the modified. I should probably, in the description, I'm going to have information on how to run the filter on this command block, the different parameters other than the accuracy value that you're going to need. And then you just sort of delete these command blocks except for those two in the corner, and then stick your new module in, and then you need to add those back in the same position on the new module. So if you know how to use filters and build stuff with command blocks, you'll likely get what I'm saying, but otherwise you might not. But that is going to be it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoy the rocket launcher. I think it is very, very cool. But that is all the time I have for today. So if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to leave a like, and follow me on Twitter at NanoRexMC for more updates. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Rex out.